Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get right to it. Now, you remember a few weeks ago, I did a video over North Korea and South Korea and how they had this huge talk and how they were going to do peace. And they were talking, North Korea was talking about giving up their nuclear ambitions and having a nuclear-free peninsula. Well, guess what? Remember that part, that little caveat I gave you about don't hold your breath? Well, it just happened to drop. That shoe happened to drop yesterday. Overnight last night, North Korea said we are going to suspend the talks. We are not going to have this summit right now because the U.S. held some kind of military drill with South Korea, so they're done. Now they're saying it's just suspended for the time being. And then, of course, Kim Jong-un has now said that, guess what? Guess what? I don't think I'm going to meet with Donald Trump anyway. The summit's off. I'm just not doing it. If the U.S. is going to demand that we get rid of our nuclear weapons, then we will not go to the summit. Even though that was kind of the entire deal of the summit, was it not? To denuclearize the Korean Peninsula, to unify the country, or at least get the sides on, not on a non-war footing, and get them to a peace agreement. That was the plan, was it not? Unfortunately, no one really seems to care about the fact that this guy has done this time and time again. He does it over and over again, no matter who he makes an agreement with. Now, we can sit there and say all we want that Donald Trump may have made us look like liars with the Iran deal, and that was bad. Yes, I agree. But the thing is, Donald Trump isn't the reason for this, really. I don't think, even though he'll take the blame for it if it falls through. But I don't understand why this guy seems to think it's okay to do what he's doing. It's not proper. It's not right. And he's sitting there stringing people along. Not just America, but the lives of the people in North and South Korea both. The fact is, if North Korea doesn't get rid of their nukes, at some point, there will be a war. There will be a war between the U.S., the rest of the world, and North Korea. All over North Korea. Now, the thing is, Russia and China will probably join in on the side of North Korea because they're anti-American. And that's probably what they will do. The question is, what do the South Koreans do? I had someone tell me last night, they were like, well, can their nukes actually reach the U.S.? I'm not 100% sure, but there were reports last year that their nukes can reach as far as L.A., Houston, and possibly New York City. That puts almost any city in the U.S. in range. That's if those reports are accurate. But if nothing else, we know for a fact that they have nuclear weapons that can take out our almost 30,000 troops stationed in South Korea. So I really don't know what's going on here. It's exactly what I thought would happen. Like I said, when it happens, like, don't hold your breath, because this guy's broken deals before. So did his father before him. I mean, come on, they signed a deal with Bill Clinton to not have a nuclear program if they were given those light water nuclear reactors. And then what did they do? They turned around and they made a nuclear program. And then they use it to saber rattle every time they get a chance. And they're doing it again right as we speak. They say, monitors say that they are taking apart their nuclear testing site. But of course, there are other places they could be testing they could test their nukes later. But it just shows Kim Jong-un is what we've always thought he was. He's a liar and a con artist. And no matter what you have to say about Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un and his family's dynasty have a lot longer history of conning people, manipulating people, and trying to play American presidents for fools. They've done it for years. Kim Jong Un's father did it. He's done it, and the Korean people are none the wiser because they're left in the dark about almost everything. Now, I guess we'll see what happens down the road. But as you already know, that one, Donald Trump's a hothead. He's not going to put up with this guy pulling out of this deal like this, even though he just pulled out of a deal. But this has very major ramifications. They're sitting there wanting to pull us out of this. They want to pull out of this deal that they just made with South Korea and put this summit on hold or cancel it altogether, simply because South Korea is still having military drills to protect itself. There's no peace deal. There's no peace deal, Mr. Kim Jong Un. There's no peace deal yet. There's no peace treaty signed. They're still living under an armistice in North Korea. That means war could break out at any minute from either side. And South Korea has a right to prepare themselves to be in defense of their nation. And I think that's probably what's got him more mad than anything else. He probably thought at some point down the road, South Korea would lower their guard and he could just send his troops over the border. And I can tell you, the South Koreans aren't going to just, bow to your will, Mr. Un. The world will not allow that. So, you can give that pipe dream up. That's what it seems like he's really mad about to me. I mean, they run drills, defensive drills for themselves, and with the US, help of the U.S., and you're going to sit there and tell me that breaks the peace deal? Really? That tells me for a fact that you, Kim Jong-un, were looking for a weakness, looking for them to lower their guard so you could attack. That's what it makes it look like to me. Now, maybe others won't see it that way, but that's what I see. I see a man who was trying to manipulate a situation where people in South Korea were looking for peace, people around the globe were looking for peace, and you were trying to use it as a way to weasel your way in to where you'd have an easy attack. But you seem to, apparently you think people are going to let their guard down. It doesn't appear anyone did, and now you're mad about it. So you can blame Donald Trump all you want on this one, but it's not all on him. Sure, he allowed the deal to go through, or the military drills to go on and everything, and maybe he shouldn't have. I don't know, but South Korea can't be looking weak either. You can't have them not prepared, not seem like they're prepared for any eventuality. So North Korea, once again, trying to pull out of peace accords that they agreed to just a few weeks ago. They're already trying to pull out of it, saying they're not going to give up their nukes, and if the U.S. demands them to give up their nukes, then they're just not going to have this summit at all. They will not be pressured to give up their nukes, even though they already agreed to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's testing Donald Trump's resolve on this, the world's resolve, or if he's just trying to play a card to trying to get into the South to where he could, have their guard down and he could attack them. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Let me know, what do you think he was just doing this for because he wants to get more out of it? Is he just testing Donald Trump? Or is there a more sinister plot at play where he was just trying to get the South Koreans to lower their guard, maybe the U.S. troops to get pulled out, and then he could just invade South Korea? I don't think he would have been successful if that was the case, because the U.S. government, or U.S. military would have been back in. Japan would have been there, and the rest of the, pretty much the rest of the world except China and maybe Russia. And so that's what I got for you today. Of course, this has been some pretty big news here, and I'm not quite sure I understand why it's going on like this. South Korea ran military drills to prepare themselves for the possible attack from Kim Jong-un's military from North Korea. Anyhow, this has been the Big Rant Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck. I hope you're having a great day. Hope the weather's great wherever you are. And I'll see you down the road. By the way, check back next on Saturday. I have more videos for you. I will be going live Saturday morning at about 8 to 9 o'clock. I'll let you know when it gets closer. And we'll be discussing a few things, namely a few things that whatever goes on Thursday and Friday when I'm not filming, as well as we'll talk about some stuff that Donald Trump has been doing behind the scenes, apparently, at least with his Trump organization, with China, which could be a little bit of pay to play ramifications that he accused Hillary Clinton of. Anyhow, have a great day. I'll see you down the road.